I think it is safe to say that we have all seen shapes or images out of the paint on a wall or even a marking on a door. This is known as pareidolia. It is the tendency to impose meaningful perception onto objects that otherwise would have no significant meaning. It is the human ability to see shapes or make pictures out of randomness. I know I have been guilty of this even since I was a child. The door to the restroom in my house had these unusual wood markings that would make it look like a giant owl was peering at you. It is definitely not something you want to experience as a kid if you have to use the restroom in the middle of the night. Now, for many, seeing a shape out of just randomness is a non-issue. It doesn't cause any significant distress. It doesn't disrupt your daily activity. However, for one family, the shapes that they would see would change their lives forever. Coffee and Galactus is a weekly podcast where we share stories of the supernatural, discuss mysticism, and explore the beyond. If this is something that interests you, then stick around and enjoy this week's episode. Now, this won't be a long episode. I know I have said it before, but this time I do mean it. I've just been so busy with work that I haven't given enough time to the podcast that I would like. So I'm gonna do just a short little episode, and then hopefully the next few days I can record it a little bit more and just slowly get back to my routine as I was doing before. Honestly, yeah, I'm gonna have to quit my job because, sure, it pays the bills and all, but I mean, does it really bring joy that we're gonna pull Marie Kondo? Does it spark joy? Not so much, not every day at least. Anyway, so I'm just so glad to be back and recording and having you guys listen. Now, I try to stick to topics that are from the local area, from the Brownsville, Texas, Rio Grande Valley area. However, every now and then, I do venture out, touch on different topics, just to give bring some awareness to others who may not have, heard of certain topics and might be interested. And if you, like I said before, if you have a topic you would like to, discuss and, hear about, go ahead and send me a message and I'm happy to, look into it, get with you and, we can work on something, collaborate. But for today, we're going to discuss the Belmez faces. Now, if you're familiar with this topic, that's great. I certainly wasn't. Honestly, the way I stumbled upon this topic was I was listening to National Geographic and they actually happened to discuss it. They were discussing oh man, like some paranormal phenomena. I'm not even sure they're even paranormal. They're just talking about like some phenomena that go on around the world, and they happened to bring this one up. Now, I didn't hear the full name when I was listening to it because I was half listening because I was actually doing something else. Most of the time when I'm typing my work, I listen to a podcast or I listen to just background noise just so that way, my mind doesn't feel so lonely and won't wander as much. And honestly, it does work, at least for me. It helps me stay focused on whatever I'm doing. So I half listen to what I'm listening to. And then if I hear something that really like catches my attention, then yeah, I go back and listen to it later with like more intent. And when I'm not doing that and I'm driving around to go see for work, I'm driving around for work, then I also listen to podcasts. And at that point, again, also partially listening, I am paying attention to what is on the radio at that moment. But at the same time, I am driving, so I do pay attention to the road. Just so no one thinks that, I'm driving recklessly. I'm not, okay? And if you weren't thinking that, well, now you know I really wasn't driving recklessly. Excuse me. So anyways, Belmez faces. Now, this occurs in Spain. It's in Belmez de la Moraleda, Spain. And Belmez faces are mysterious face-like images that appeared within an Andalusian house and are surrounded by legends of the paranormal. So, like I said, I heard the original topic off some Nat Geo documentary series I was listening to. And then from there, I actually went to go research it because it had caught my attention that much that I wanted to go listen to it. And I found some pictures from Atlas Obscura. And I'm going to go ahead and tag that on the bottom of the description. So if anyone is interested in seeing the pictures, go for it. Honestly, they're so interesting. Very interesting images. No, I'm actually drinking a coffee right now, guys. And if you haven't gotten yourself a spooky mug, go run to TJ Maxx. Don't walk, run to TJ Maxx. Go over there. Go to Marshall's, maybe even Ross, and find yourself a spooky mug. And enjoy this beginning of pre-spooky season. I'll say pre-spooky season because I know a lot of people out there are still like, it's not even, autumn yet. Guys, autumn begins as soon as, Bath and Body Works release their fall candles, okay? And that was in July. So for me, that's the beginning of spooky season, and I've been enjoying myself, immersing myself in spooky season merch. Have a few new mugs that I've just recently obtained, and I love them. Drinking some delicious coffee from one of my mugs. It's in the shape of a pumpkin. I'll take a picture and post it on Instagram. So if you do follow us on there, you can check it out. And if you don't follow us on there, go to Calacas Pod on Instagram and check us out. Honestly, you won't be disappointed. I do like to post images of where we go get coffee there. Things that we do besides just listen to spooky stuff. I mean, everything in life is spooky, though. I mean, trust me, it just is. So anyways, let me go ahead and jump into this episode. Enough of my banter. If you like my banter, give me a thumbs up, guys. Let me know. I'm here. I'm here. So, Belmez Faces. In 1971, strange stains began to appear on the kitchen floor of a house in Belmez de la Moraleda, a little village in Andalusia. Okay. So, house is normal up until that point, and then it just, boom, something starts happening. The eerie markings seem to represent faces of people, sparking a decades-long interest in the Belmez faces. So, markings started happening. People were speculating, what is this? Is this paranormal? Is this, real life? And we're going to have an opportunity to jump into that. And if you want, comment what you think. I'm really interested. Send me an email if you don't want to comment. And I'm happy to, discuss this because, I mean, I have an idea of what it is, but at the same time, I may be wrong. So in August of 1971, Maria Gomez Camara noticed a stain forming on her concrete floor, which later seemed to turn into a disturbing face. Not only that, but the stain appeared to have moved positions. Now, if you're not creeped out by that by now, you will be. Because that is pretty creepy. If a stain forms and looks kind of like a face and changes positions, how is that not going to creep you out? It creeps me out. And not even there. Maria tried to scrub the face away, but nothing worked. Her husband and son destroyed the stain with a pickaxe, and they re-cemented the floor. Boom, problem solved, right? If something gets stained and you need to change it, pues, you just change it. Yeah. Así de simple, ya se acabó la historia. No, wrong. It continues. So let's see. As it turns out, their efforts were in vain. The face reappeared a week later with other faces forming right behind that one. Rumors spread quickly, and everyone was like, "Ay, mira, la Casa de Caras, the House of Faces," which drew a lot of visitors to the house. Everybody wanted to see this unexplained phenomenon for themselves. Not gonna lie, I would be one of those people saying, I want to go check it out. Um, Pause here real quick, and let's just say, back in the 90s, if you lived in Brownsville, Texas, you had to have heard of the Virgin Mary tree. And if you didn't hear about the Virgin Mary tree, you are full of it, okay? Because everyone knows about the Virgin Mary tree. And people would flock down to the tree to go see it and, pray there. And it was a miracle. People were just in awe, and they felt, like they were getting their answers, and, they felt like something was coming, and it was a total experience. So don't come at me and say, that's not true. People wouldn't flock there. Those that want to flock there. Well, some people might feel entitled to going and feeling some kind of religious experience there. And this might have been just that. People are thinking, is this a sign from, the Lord or something? Who knows? Who knows what people were thinking? But, don't think that, people are just being nosy. Even though some people probably were just there being nosy, okay? Anyways, let's continue. Experts from around the world of parapsychology rushed to this place and coincided in cataloging the phenomenon as a great mystery. They allegedly even recorded cacophonies in the house. So you're probably asking yourself, what is a cacophony? And it is in best words, like an auditory hallucination. Like you hear something that's not there. You're able to record, like the phone ringing, but there's no phone in that room, but you hear a phone ringing, and where is that phone coming from, right? Or someone laughing, or someone talking, whispers, things like that. It's an auditory hallucination because it's not there, but you're hearing it, okay? So that's what this says. According to local legend, when people excavated the floor while examining the property, they found skeletal remains buried below. I actually saw a comic book recently, and it was called House of Spirits. Oh man, what was it called? House. It had something to do with spirits, okay? And it was quite interesting, to be honest with you. It's something about three mobsters who, of course, well, they are bad guys, I guess you could say. And all of a sudden they become no, not spirit hunters. Anyways, I can't find the comic, but the the guys, they're three mobsters. They become haunted, literally and physically, by the ghosts of their past. So bodies, that they had, like, harmed stuff start coming at them, and they can't escape this stuff. And very interesting little find that I found. I didn't buy it. I should have. Missed opportunity. But I wonder if that's something like what's going on here. The skeletal remains are trying to make themselves known, saying, hey, I had an untimely demise. I was just put here. I want some closure, and I want you to help me find that closure. Honestly, I feel like that's what it is. Like, it's like a Sixth Sense movie kind of thing going on here, but less Haley Joel Osment and more Maria. After this discovery, a new floor was cast in concrete, and everybody thought, boom, that's it. That's the end of the phenomenon. Nothing else is going to happen. And everything was, was gone for good. But 2 weeks later, another face, different from the ones before, began to appear. However, skeptics believe the whole ordeal was just a hoax. They've come to the conclusion that the family used some kind of paint or chemical agent to create the images as a way to draw tourists to their house and turn a profit. Maria Gomez Camara died in 2004, and the strange stains are still there and continue to appear. So, from what I read of that, let's be honest, it's creepy, okay? Because if you've never had something happen at home, and all of a sudden it starts to appear, like, geez, that's super creepy. You have to ask yourself, what is this? Is this, am I being cursed? Am I being pranked? And you may think, oh, I mean, I'm sure she had kids. If she did, let's say she had like 4 or 5 kids, because I'm, back in the times, I mean, I think that was just common. So let's say that was she had let's say about 4 kids, right? And she's thinking, it has to be one of the kids messing with me. They're doing something. Talks to the kids, gives them a girl talking to, maybe threatens them with a chunk. And even with the chunk, it's still happening. You have to ask yourself, ¿qué me está pasando? Am I cursed? And you go to a brujo, and the brujo's like, no, dude, todo está bien. Like, you have some malas vibras, but like, nada, like, nothing special. So, again, you have to ask yourself, what is going on here? And this happened for years. I mean, there's many hypotheses what that they planned it themselves, that it was a hoax from the family, that they needed money, and they tried to do something, big and outstanding in order to gain favor and gain money. And researchers have gone out there to investigate, and it comes out that no, the floor has not been tampered with any kind of chemical agent. Nothing that is non-organic has been there. Okay, so there's no staining like due to bleach or due to a paint. Um, but yet they that's the route they want to go with. So is that possible? Yeah, it's possible that they use something that they just can't, maybe some kind of dye, natural dye that they might have come up with, and that's why it's not detected as a non-organic chemical, because it could be something organic they're using, right? However, people say that, it could just be, like I mentioned, the dead coming back asking, for favor and um haunting them because maybe they did something, they had a past life that was just malicious. I mean, that house drew a lot of tourists. It was advertised to the tourists as La Casa de las Caras, the House of the Faces. And by Easter of 1972, hundreds of people were flocking to the house to see the faces. And for like over 30 years, the Pereira family claimed the faces continued to appear, both male and female faces of different shapes and sizes and expressions. So I don't know, maybe it's a portal to another dimension, and just so happened like that was the way of the I guess making the people on the other side of the portal making themselves known that hey, we're here. Um, it's creepy. It's creepy. Like I said, I did see some of the pictures that were posted by Los Obscura, and some pretty keen images that you could say, yeah, that does look like a face. It looks pretty grim. I mean, like I said, I'm gonna go ahead and share those images with you guys just because it's pretty interesting. But let me know. What do you think? Do you think this family has something to do with it? Did they mess with their own house, me, or is it something supernatural and and creepy? According to what I also looked at, faces of the Belmez, meaning that someone tried to like recreate faces on there, and they caught them as a hoax on that one. But that was more recent. That was like maybe in 2007 and so on. But up until that time, those faces were real, like they were coming out. And some people say it was because Miss Maria Gomez was psychic and was able to draw those faces, to that location. So again, let me know what you think and comment. And I'm interested. Do you think these faces are a hoax or are they real? I hope you enjoyed this week's episode of the Belmez Faces or La Casa de Caras. Honestly, this is a fun one to report on. A great topic to just be able to bounce back into the podcast. As I have said before, and I'm going to go ahead and say it one more time, let me know what you think, and I will add our email address to the description box so you can share your comments and your thoughts. If you have any recommendations on what you would like to hear about next, go ahead and let me know as well. I'm happy to share stories, and we can feature them during an episode. Follow Coffee and Galactus on social media. You can visit our webpage at galacaspod.com, where we have links to all our social media accounts. Like and subscribe for all our latest content. Remember, life begins after coffee.